Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Running the Bases. I am your host, Michael Garaffa, joined today by Nick Nath and Ryan Blank. Nick, Ryan, how are you guys doing today?
Nick?
Doing great. Postseason baseball is here.
Yeah.
Out of the playoffs. It's a pretty fun time to be a baseball fan right now. We got the Tom Brady series in action with the Rays and Red Sox, and we also got another Dynamite series starting tomorrow with the Giants and Dodgers. So I'm here for it. Postseason baseball is in full swing. And how you doing, Ryan?
You know, I have been better. First off, I need to acknowledge how Michael was so emphatic with how he was the host. He's like, I am the host. Very emphatic, like a king.
Sorry, I honestly just was saying it. I was not even paying attention to how, because I'm still like the people that are here in front of us were they got out right as we were supposed to get in, so I had to like scramble to get everything set up. So I'm still setting my computer up for here.
But I'm doing all right. I might have a case of some food poisoning. That's why I'm not in studio tonight. But overall, I'm hoping that I will feel better. I'm already feeling better than I was this morning. I no longer have a squeezing pain across my entire stomach. But, I'm feeling a little bit better. Who knows? Might go out tonight, see a few people. But I've also got to take a accounting final. But before I throw it back to you, Michael, I need to tell you something.
Mhm.
You need to start wearing shirts of teams that win.
Dude, I literally picked the shirt out this morning. I've been wearing it since about 10 o'clock. So. And they were, when I got here, it was only 3-0. I didn't bring a backup shirt because who does that to school? So
a Mets fan would always. I've heard. I've never been to a Mets game at Citi Field, but I've also heard that Mets fans carry around paper bags because they're such a disappointment. They'll put the bags over their heads, just like Browns fans used to do a couple years ago.
When they went 0-16.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Ryan, also keep in mind that, we're not going to be having an outline this week, so it's not like I'm going to be off the screen. But if for some reason I am off the screen, keep in mind that if I don't unmute you on my computer, I can't hear you. So don't keep saying my name if I can't hear you. It just means that I can't hear you. We had a great moment last week where Ryan kept saying my name, trying to get my attention, and I had no clue he was even talking, and just completely disregarded that. And yeah. So postseason baseball is underway, and I am so happy. It has been a great start. We had the American League wild card game on Tuesday night between the Red Sox and Yankees, and yesterday we had the Dodgers-Cardinals National League wild card game. We're going to break them down game by game, talk about things we liked, things we didn't like. Just basically, we're going to break down the game as a group, and then we are going to go into – we can do brief recap of the game that happened this morning between the Astros and White Sox, and then we will do a preview of what is to come in the rest of the week.
I feel like we need to recap the Red Sox game first. I think you said that you wanted to do the Dodger game first.
I just didn't say that.
Oh,
absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I just didn't have it. That's okay. So, yeah, we're going to do Red Sox first, then we're going to do the Dodgers, and then we are going to do a preview of the Divisional Series. So we already have had the ALDS began today. We had the Astros and White Sox earlier in the day, and then right now going on are the Rays and Red Sox. So you know who won the wild card game, obviously. But we'll be going into that after the wild card. We're going to start it off with the less exciting of the two wild card games, but it was still a lot of fun to say the least. That is the Red Sox-Yankees game that started at Fenway Park. The stage was set for a magical game. So many people had said it that it was going to be an instant classic between two iconic teams in the history of baseball. The rivalry got to be on display, full display. We didn't have any bench clearing incidents, which is really sad. I was really looking forward to at least one. It didn't happen, but that's primarily because the Red Sox just were in utter domination the entire night. Guys, what was your take on the game? Anything? We're not going to be going in any specific direction. We're just going to be having conversation here because we can go in a million different ways. I obviously have a few things that I want to hit on, but I really don't have a strict outline here.
That game wasn't even a game. It wasn't competitive. The Yankees' offense was atrocious. Outside of Stanton, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Stan did everything for that team. And, you know what? I'll give Judge a little bit of credit. I'll give Judge a tiny bit. But overall, there was no offense from the Yankees. It was utterly pathetic. When you think of these two teams this season, you have thought about how offensive heavy both teams have been. Well, the Red Sox showed it. Schwarbaum. You had Bogarts. Like, wait, hold on. Michael, unmute your mic so people on Blaze can hear me.
They can hear you.
I thought they couldn't since you were on mute.
Dude, I'm muted, but the computer's not muted. Nick hears you.
Oh.
Nick wouldn't hear you if
I can hear you, Ryan.
I don't know. You described this very poorly to me. But overall, I was dumbfounded by how bad Garrett Cole looked. I expected to see Garrett Cole out there. Instead, I saw Corey Kluber out there. Like, I don't know what it was, but this was one of the worst performances I've seen from the Yankees all year long. And the worst part was, in the sixth inning, they were just like, it's over. They just had given up. Like, hello, look at the past, people. Crazy comebacks have happened. They just gave up. And I thought this game was horrible. I thought it was a horrible game. Congrats to the Red Sox, though. Evaldi looked like a monster. He was tremendous throughout that game. But Garrett Cole, horrible. Yankees offense, horrible. Just an overall horrible performance from the Yankees. And then what I need to hit on is that Aaron Boone needs to go. Especially after him saying at the end of the game, yeah, the rest of the league has caught up to us. What are you saying? Are you delusional? Nobody has to catch up to you. You're the ones that have to do the catching up. Because last time I remember, they haven't won a World Series in how many years? 12, 13 years? Like, what are you saying? The rest of the league has caught up to us? No, not at all. If anything, they have to catch up. And I think that was one of the dumbest quotes I've ever seen from a coach in a post-game press conference this year. Yeah, they need to catch – the rest of the league's caught up. No, you're falling behind. You need to catch up, and you need to be fired, Aaron Boone.
All righty. Nick, what about you? What's your take?
My biggest takeaways were that this was probably – if I'm a Yankees fan, I'm just going to be depressed for a good amount of time because I'll put it in the worst way possible, but I'll put it in the way that I would see it if I was a Yankees fan. We just got beat. Okay, first of all, we lose 8 games to the Orioles throughout the entire season. The Yankees are 1 game from flipping this entire script and playing at Yankee Stadium as opposed to Fenway. They're playing at Fenway. They're the biggest rival in all of sports. They get embarrassed 6-2 on live television in the wild card. They're not even able to advance in the wild card. They had their starting pitcher who they paid $345 million for against the Red Sox number 3 guy, Evaldi. Red Sox were also without JD Martinez, their leading DH. And yeah, if I'm a Yankees fan, it doesn't get much worse than that. Garrett Cole just simply didn't show up. Neither did this offense as outside of Giancarlo Stanton. He had 3 home runs in any other ballpark aside from Fenway, which is just how it works sometimes. I'm glad he got that 1 home run, though, because he really deserved it. But yeah, outside of Giancarlo Stanton's performance, there's not a lot to be happy about if you're a Yankees fan. Ryan's 100% right. Boone needs to go. This team is just way too talented to be knocked out in the wild card game, especially to your division rival who simply just is not better than you, but you still find a way to lose. And it's just sad for Yankee fans because it's just a continued cycle that just keeps going. But the first thing that needs to change is the manager, and then they can start elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And watching this game as a fan, I mean, not only was it seemed like it was in the Yankees' hands, honestly, right up until Stanton's home run didn't go out. I think that kind of shifted the momentum, even though it was a big hit. I think that their energy had already gotten so high because they thought it was a home run, and then it dropped. And I don't think they ever got it back because after that, the bottom of the first, Bogarts hits the 2-run homer, and they just popped the balloon. And it was palpable. The lack of energy was just completely palpable in that dugout. and they had no. I mean, this is a team that fought so hard to get to the playoffs, fought so hard down the stretch, and had such a great run when they really shouldn't have even been in the playoffs with how they played this year. And they showed absolutely none of that fight in the wild card game. And I think that was the real story here. And I think that falls a lot on Aaron Boone in a way, because you're the manager. You've gotta fire a team up. And I think it's on the manager to get a team going, walk down the dugout and just go, let's go, guys. Like, let's pick it up. You're about to lose. Yes, Ryan, I saw you had something to say.
Also, this has to go on Cashman too. I think Cashman needs to go. He has consistently refused to attack the biggest weakness on that team, and it is the pitching. Instead, he goes out against Joey Gallo, who strikes out 70% of the time, and Anthony Rizzo when they had Luke Voigt. I don't see the point of those trades compared to what they needed on the mound. I think Cashman needs to go.
You can make that argument if they lose in a 5 or 7 game series when we see their other starters not being able to keep up with other teams pitching, but they had Garrett Cole on the mound. Like, there's no other better situation for the Yankees than that. Like, the guy who's going to finish second in the AL this year in the Cy Young voting went out there in a wild card game and simply just lost. I don't think that's on Cashman at all. He got the guy he wanted. That's the guy that you want starting a wild card game, and you got outpitched.
Well, I also think that the reason this game should have been in Yankee if Cashman does his job better. Cashman, all he did this offseason, he lets Masahiro Tanaka go, which obviously I think changes a lot of this season for them. Signs a washed-up Corey Kluber, who spent 60% of the year on the IL. Got Jameson Taillon, who actually wasn't that bad. But overall, he hasn't done anything to help the pitching. And the bullpen is still not good.
I think it was playing pretty well towards the end of the year. And so was their entire rotation. They were like, what, 4th in team ERA since the All-Star break?
5th.
Their bullpen was also like, what, lights out in the last 3 weeks of the postseason. Like, Johnny Lasagna was pitching lights out. Chapman was doing his thing. Caggreen was actually terrible, but
Lasagna was the only really full-time reliable arm in that bullpen all year long, in my opinion.
I hope we actually call him Lasagna. I just find that absolutely hysterical. That's so funny.
So I think part of it goes there, but also you got to give credit to the Red Sox. Alex Cora that's not even a might. He is one of the best managers in the game. It's amazing. The Red Sox go from their worst win percentage ever from last year, to in the playoffs, beating their arch rival in a wild card game and are in the ALDS against the Rays, who just won 100 games for the first time in their franchise history. So you got to give a lot of credit to the Red Sox with Alex Cora's ability to get that team, and then their play also without their power hitter in JD, and then Eovaldi shoving. So that's what I think we're talking too much about the Yankees.
Yeah, we always do this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's for good reason, though, honestly, because to me, this is a clear case of, and I think Ryan's right, that I think you have to put a little bit of this on Cashman, because at that deadline, I said it, they needed to get pitching. All they got was Andrew Heaney. They would have been hosting the wild card game without question if they got an actual starting pitcher.
But how can you say that when they were literally 5th in team ERA since the All-Star break?
Because
they pitched well enough to get themselves into that spot.
It was their bullpen that did it, though. Their bullpen was great.
The starting pitching wasn't even that much of a problem at the All-Star break, though. Even after Haney got designated for assignment, Kluber wasn't bad. Who else? Who was the other guy?
Taillon.
Taillon was simply not. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't bad either.
Yeah, but getting a guy like, I don't know, even Jose Barrios, or even someone as simple as Rich Hill. I mean, he won games for the Mets. It's that all they needed is one more win. That's literally all they needed. Andrew Heaney provided them about 5 extra losses that they wouldn't have had if they got someone else at all. I mean, they could have even snagged, they could have gone out and gotten Joe Ryan from the Twins in that they gave up for Nelson Cruz. I mean, there were options, and they just didn't execute on any of them. So to me, I don't think all the blame falls on Brian Cashman, but I think that you look now, especially at Aaron Boone, this team has had such high expectations every single year, and they have just failed. And I think that is going to show very, very much in this offseason when we see all the moves that they do. I think it's going to be the same thing on both New York teams, that nobody's safe in that entire front office. So let's, like Ryan said, let's focus a little bit on the Red Sox here, because yes, it's easier to focus on how terrible the Yankees were, but we also got to keep in mind that the Red Sox capitalized on how terrible the Yankees were. Nathan Eovaldi pitched the game of his life. And yes, I know he's pitched a lot of great games in his career, but this was one of the most important games. And he came out and delivered. He was spectacular from the start. He didn't miss any of his pitches. And I mean, we didn't even think about it, but entering the game, look at these two guys. You've got Nathan Eovaldi, a pitcher who's, like Nick said, a 3-starter, not expected to do great things. There's not much pressure on Nathan Eovaldi. The pressure is all on Garrett Cole, especially considering Eovaldi had been hot his last few starts. Garrett Cole was really struggling in his last few starts, so all pressure was on Garrett Cole, and it showed. I mean, he was missing his pitches so consistently. You can tell from the beginning that Eovaldi was more locked in, and it played off for him. So, I mean, Nathan Eovaldi, fantastic. Xander Bogaerts, the captain of the team, with an even better, even bigger moment. And, I mean, while the Yankees were still in it, the Alex Verdugo hit finally was the cherry on top for the Red Sox, to me, to win that game. And now, before I'll end my little rambling here by pointing out the incredible moment that Nick wasn't even there to witness but heard about, and Ryan doesn't even know about, that I accurately predicted Giancarlo Stanton's home run before it happened.
So did I.
You did? Okay, no, but listen to how I did it. I turned to Austin Ford, who was there on the couch, and I said, Giancarlo Stanton has hit 2 absolute missiles today that have just missed being home runs. Now he's going to sneak one right down the right field line. It's just going to get in the front row next to the pesky pole. Next pitch, boom, he hits it right in the front row. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is a guy who never hits home runs the other way. And he just did exactly what I said he's going to do. I was so excited. I've been over the moon about that for like 2 days now, because I've never predicted something that exciting. So that's my rambling. Anyone else on the Red Sox? Because, you know, obviously it's what they did was also noteworthy.
Yeah, what they did was incredible. Their ability to just continue to be a team that all of us underlooked, besides Michael, for some reason. I swear, delusion gets you something sometimes, but what they did this year was insane. They go from, like I said, the worst team in their division, even worse than the Orioles, to being a 92-win team. And honestly, it would shock me if this team comes out and takes down the Rays. It would not shock me if they did. It would not shock me if they did. Okay, so you guys are saying there's no chance that they win this series?
I'm not saying there's no chance.
That's why. But I'm saying it wouldn't shock. I'm not saying that they're going to definitely win. I'm saying that that would not shock me.
It would shock me if the Rays lost.
It would be the biggest upset of the entire postseason, no question.
I doubt.
Yeah, for the Red Sox too. Yeah, like you guys said, this was a team that literally got swept opening series to the Orioles, and to see how far they've come from then, and to see them winning a wild card game now, and even playing October baseball, like they're literally playing right now with a chance to advance. Unfortunately, that they're playing the Rays, the best team in the AL, so they most likely will not advance. But if I'm a Red Sox fan, I'm just very encouraged, because I had no expectations for this team coming in, and you just know the future is bright. If they can just get a few more starting pitchers, because that lineup's already, to me, like one of the most talented in the game of baseball itself. Like that lineup can out hit any lineup in the game. I truly believe that. And yeah, fully, like, if you like imagine JD Martinez played against the Yankees. He didn't even play. They put up 6 runs against him.
They would have like 8.
And you know, and like just the addition of Schwarber too, like the pop is just all there. And, you know, and if, like I said, they're a few starting pitchers away from really seriously contending. I really truly believe that.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because you guys both thought I was crazy for saying that the Red Sox were going to finish second in the division this year. And they magically did. I remember both of you vividly saying that their offense is not great. Why does this light keep turning off? You guys both said that their offense is not cut out for the to go far, and I said, I think they're better than we think, and here they are. I'm shocked that they beat the Yankees. I'd be even more shocked if they managed to beat the Rays. But it was fun. It was a fun game, and it was a great way to start off the postseason. It was a loud house. It was a lot of fun, and then we shifted to the quietest postseason game in the history of my postseason viewing experience. Last night at Dodger Stadium. I'm sorry that none of you can see me. There's literally I can wave my it's a motion sensor, and it's not. This has never happened before. Dodger Stadium last night. Cardinals met the Dodgers there for what was a thriller. I mean, instant classic is another great game. It was so much fun from the very beginning, but dead, absolutely dead. And I think that the Dodgers fans not being loud was a big reason why the Dodgers were not really into it until later in the game. Because I mean, the energy of the stadium, it plays a big role. Excuse me. So, I mean, there's not much else you can really say about it, but I think that's the first thing I want to bring up before we get into the actual game. Okay, well, Ryan doesn't want to talk about that.
No, I think your point is horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't really see it.
Look at what they did last year with no fans.
Yeah, but that's different.
How is it different?
When you're used to fans all year, it's a playoff game. Like it's not even about that the Dodgers might have been. It's like as fans, like how are you going to a wild card game and not getting loud? Like I couldn't ever imagine attending a wild card game and sitting down on first pitch. Like there was not a clap in the entire stadium when the first pitch was thrown. Like I was blown
Sure,
away.
you're overreacting.
No, dude, it really wasn't.
Michael, you're overreacting, one. And two, as players, yeah, it helps to have the crowd so you can feed off of them, but you don't need them to be motivated to play. It's the playoffs, dude. Last thing you need is to have anyone screaming your name, chanting your team. Like, if you're not motivated to go out and play and win, then why the heck are you even playing? Like, that's the thing. Like, I think your point, you are overblowing this point. You are exaggerating this way too much.
I don't know. It's just for me, like, it's a wild card game. You're the defending World Series champs, and you haven't seen a postseason game in 2 years. Like, not even talking about the players, like just for the fans, like how are you not loud for your team? Like support your team. I don't know. It just really bothered me because I know that if for all three of us, if any of our teams were in a wild card game, even if we got the chance to go, but our fan bases would be standing up cheering from the very first pitch till the very last pitch, unless it's like 10-0. But
I didn't have a voice for a week after the 2014 wild card game.
Right. Like it's a special game, and just to me to not take advantage of that as a fan,
the fans took advantage of that. I think that's a horrible thing to say.
Can we talk about the game?
Like I said, you're exaggerating way too much on this.
I don't know. It stuck in my craw a little bit. But so the game itself was also a lot of fun. It was a really great game, and it was back and forth. And oh my gosh, yeah, Brian Anderson. His name just slipped my brain. Brian Anderson said it in the 6th inning. It's a 1-1 game. This is no matter what happens, this is going to have a dramatic finish. And there's going to be a dramatic moment because late game magic is special. And the Dodgers, the defending champs, they tossed Max Scherzer out there. And they had faced Adam Wainwright, two of the oldest pitchers in baseball, two Hall of Famers probably someday, and going toe-to-toe in a world of young elite starting pitchers. We had these two guys at 37 and 40, and they weren't on the top of their game. But Ryan, I'll let you break this one down because Nick, you did get to do the last one. So Ryan, I'll let you lead it off with your take on this game.
You know what? I hate this game for one reason. One reason. This is me being selfish. The one reason I hate this game is because now the Royals-A's wildcard game has a contender for what could be better than that game.
No, I disagree. Royals was better.
Oh, I still think the Royals is better, but yet I'm biased about it. But this was an incredible game. And Dave Roberts gets so much hate for some of the decisions he makes, but when he pulled Scherzer, that might have been the best move that he has ever made. Going to his bullpen, trusting his bullpen after Scherzer had thrown 94 pitches in 4 1/3. Like, save his arm, trust your bullpen. That's one of the best in baseball, and that's what he did. And look what happens. That bullpen shut down that lineup. Yeah, they had Edman on second late in the game off of a single and a steal, but that pitching from the bullpen was exceptional. Wainwright was great. And here's the thing. These are two of the hottest teams in baseball coming into this game. Two of the best pitchers in the NL in the second half. And we got to showcase. But Justin Turner, like, he's one of the best postseason hitters that I think I have laid eyes on. Like, he is red hot during the postseason every single year and comes up clutch again. But I got to highlight what Chris Taylor did. He came off of the bench, has made the most of his opportunity. Boom. Game-winning, walk-off, 2-run bomb to left. I don't want to hear anyone ever complain about, hey, I could do more if I get more playing time. Look at what Chris Taylor just did last night. He gets 2 at-bats and sends his team to the NLDS against one of their arch rivals. Don't even complain about playing time because he didn't get the start. He comes out and does that. Incredible. This game, we thought that there was going to be more offense. The pitching was what took this game over. And then Chris Taylor has a chance with Bellinger getting on and then hitting one out. All they need was a single where he said, no, hold my beer. I'm going to hit one out. And that's what he did. And I think that is easily one of the biggest hits in Dodger baseball history.
Yeah, I'd agree. Nick?
Yeah, I mean, this was just an astounding game. You could just tell from the preview it said Scherzer versus Wainwright, and you knew you were in for a battle. I mean, I had a feeling this was gonna be low scoring. Actually, on my other show, I predicted that this game would be 3-1, and it actually was. So I'm a little bit proud of that. So shout out to you.
I love that, dude. I only predicted like 3 Mets scores right this year completely, so it's not easy.
Yeah, it was just funny the way that it happened with the Chris Taylor bomb too. But going back to the Chris Taylor thing, like Ryan mentioned, like he's been most of us opportunity. Like it was even more special to see him like hit the walkout from run because before the game, during his first at bat, he came off the bench. The announcer said they were like, Taylor's just been so struggling this lately. Like he's 8 for his last 74. And, he's literally hitting like 230 since the All-Star break. And obviously the acquisitions of like Turner and like these guys like have like demented his playing time. But, to see him come up in that moment, that's just really what October baseball is all about. Like these unsung heroes. And like Ryan said, that's one of the biggest hits in Dodger playoff history. And he'll always be remembered for that. And like, it's a shame. He probably won't even be on the roster next year, but he definitely just cemented himself in Dodgers history. And yeah, the game itself, I mean, the Dodgers got off to a kind of a slow start. Obviously, Scherzer gave up that run in the first inning, but then since then he was dialed in. He looked like himself. Wainwright was also dialed in. He was pitching like he was like 22. And like Ryan said, Justin Turner is one of the best postseason hitters we've ever seen, and that continues. And so yeah, I mean, we all expected the Dodgers to win this game, but shout out to the Cardinals for an amazing season. After we had them as one of their most disappointing teams. They go on a 17-game win streak, able to make the playoffs, and they were a few plays away from seriously contending and advancing against the Giants. But fortunately for all of us and for all of us baseball fans, we can finally see a Giants Dodgers NLDS, and I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, it has been a really, really it's been a really special start to the postseason, and I think honestly, we got spoiled a little bit with having the Dodgers and Cardinals game yesterday be as good as it was. And what a classic. I mean, you guys hit on everything, capped off by the Chris Taylor moment. And shout out to Cody Bellinger, because coming up in that spot, walking, and then stealing second, that changed the game. It really did. Cody Bellinger played such a huge role in that game last night. And obviously he is being talked about, but not nearly as much as he should be. Because if he doesn't get on base and he doesn't walk there, who knows? And, it's what a night. What a night for baseball. What a game for baseball. That was one of the best played games I think I have seen. It's not like it was sloppy where the hitters, they were getting on base, they had bases loaded, nobody out. No, it was pitching, just murdering the lineups, and that just sets it up as one of the best games in our lifetime. And there have been so many games this year that I look at and I say, these games are spectacular. You've got the Padres Dodgers 16 inning marathon, you've got the Field of Dreams game, and now you have this game. And just some absolutely special games for baseball. And they're games that really they make the game better. They grow the game. And I think that's something that's really, really important here. Now, I want to spend a little bit more time talking about the Max Scherzer being pulled when he was. I know, Ryan, you talked about it, but Nick, you didn't. Because I think it's such a really important moment in the game. And when he first took him out, I didn't really like it because to me, it's Max Scherzer. I would have wanted to trust him a little bit longer. We've seen very quick hooks so far in the postseason. But in that moment, it's obviously different to look back at it now. But in that moment, Nick, we'll start with you because you didn't talk about it. And Ryan, if your answer is different, you can obviously chime in, or if you want to talk more about it. But Nick, what did you think in that moment of taking out Max Scherzer?
Yeah, I mean, you could obviously Scherzer's just the ultimate competitor. We've seen that. He just always pitches with such raw emotion, and he never wants to get taken out of the game. And obviously, when Roberts made that decision, he obviously was just, I don't know. It was obviously a decision that he thought about for a while, and it's not one that he wanted to make, but it's one that he needed to make. And like Ryan said earlier, he trusted his bullpen. That bullpen's been fairly reliable all year long. Scherzer had come off of 2 rough starts prior to the regular season ending against the Rockies and the Padres. So it's understandable to see why Roberts would do that. Scherzer pitched an amazing game, and the 94 pitches is a good max. And I think maybe Roberts is also keeping it in the back of his mind that he needs to save Scherzer for these later rounds in the NLDS. He will pitch game 3 most likely. And so maybe he also kept that in the back of his mind. So looking back on it, I'm not mad at it happened, but I would have liked to see Scherzer in that inning. I feel like he deserved that trust to be able to finish the inning, but I can completely see why Roberts did it, and it ended up working out. So at the end of the day, we can't give Roberts any hate for it, because in the end it worked, and he managed a well ball game.
Yeah, that was awesome. Alrighty, Ryan.
I think looking at this, you saw how mad Scherzer was being pulled, but it's still the best call that I think Dave Roberts has made in the postseason, because you saw Scherzer was not at his best. He had been at his best towards the end of the year, and he wasn't at his best last night. He had 94 pitches through 4 1/3. I feel like if Scherzer's not that high in pitch count, then he's staying out on the field. But I think since his pitch count was that high, I agreed with him right away. When I saw it, watching the game, I was like, hold on. I wanted to look at how many pitches he was at first. I saw a pitch count. I was like, it's a smart call. It really was. And then just have that trust in your bullpen that's been there all year long and been one of the best. You have a nice fallback there because of how dominant that bullpen is all year. He trusted, and that's really – I think if you keep Scherzer in longer, the Cardinals regain their lead there. I think they do.
It's very possible, and I think last night was basically Dave Roberts put to the baseball world. This is what we got. Come and get us. Because look at that bullpen. They didn't know a single run last night. Kelly, Gratterall, Trinan, Jansen absolutely dominated. I mean, that they didn't even use Bickford. They didn't use Vezia. I mean, those are their 2 B-level guys in their bullpen. The Dodgers are so good. And, I mean, you look at every single day, if you get 6 innings, only 6 innings out of your starting pitcher, you are setting yourself up for beauty, because you will then have your next 3 of any combination of Gratterall, Bickford, Vezia, Trinan, Jansen, and I don't know, and Joe Kelly. That's 6 pitchers you can use over 3 innings. So all you need is your dominant starters of Scherzer, Buehler, and Urias to go out there and get you 6, and then you're perfect. So to me, the Dodgers made a bold statement last night, and it's a statement. It's like the shot heard around the world, because to me it didn't really go noticed, but it absolutely should have, because that Dodgers bullpen is what's going to do them this postseason. They had the best bullpen ERA in baseball in the regular season, and well, they proved it. Why in last night's game? Absolutely stellar. Does anyone have any final comments on that game before we move on to something else? No? Perfect. So I do have a little surprise that I was just looking at the computer here because I've got the computer in front of me. I don't know if I don't know, Ryan, if you won't be able to hear it super well. I know Nick will. So I found our promo is on here from last year that I made, and I don't think I've listened to it since I submitted it. So I want to hear what it sounds like, and then we can also have it playing outside for 30 seconds. So I want to just take a listen to this. Let me turn my volume up in my ears so that it'll stand out here. Ryan, I don't know.
Real quick.
Ryan.
You're the only voice on that, right? Nick and I didn't help you with that, right? You just did that
I
at
have
your house.
no idea.
No, we did not help him with that.
Yeah,
I
was pretty sure you were just like, hey guys, I'm doing the promo, and we're like, do you want us to like help you with it? And you're like, no.
Well, because I think I just took, dude. I really don't remember. I think I just took clips from the show for highlights and stuff. So let's listen to it. Ryan, again, I have absolutely no idea if you're going to hear it, but I'm going to put this here, and we're going to play it.
Hear it. I'd love to hear it.
Let's see what happens. All right, let's see if it plays. Oh, I have to put it next. Hold on. Not used to the mega seg. Here we go. Let's see if it'll go. Nope. That's yeah. We do not want to be playing that on YouTube because we'll get copyrighted for that. Let's see. Here we go. It's just not playing. Hold on. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. Nope. That's still not it. It's not letting me skip. Why is it? There we go. All right, let's get logged into the show. Alrighty, boys, you ready to do this? 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Running the Bases. Make sure to come on out every Tuesday at 3 p.m. to watch Running the Bases, hosted by myself, Michael Garaffa. I'm joined by Ryan Blank, Marco Peralta, and Nick Nath every Tuesday on Blazed Radio. I hope to see you guys there. Damn. I really didn't even use your guys' voice at all.
Outstanding.
I feel so bad. I'm really sorry. That'll be different this year. It's too late.
Yeah, you might
next
want to
week.
make a new one. Include how I call you delusional. I think people would love that.
I'm probably just going to show the clip of. I'm probably going to have the clip of you in there going. I don't want to ever hear you again. So that'll be good.
Like
I'm gonna. It's your memorable moments. That's what you're known for. So that's it's the moments that stick in your head, as Gary Thorne said. Not the quality, it's the things that you remember.
We should get Gary to listen to our show.
That's going to be.
We should get Gary on the show.
Gary on our show.
Yeah, we're going to have to probably at the end of the semester be like.
Imagine we get Gary Thorne on our. Oh my god!
You know what that title's going to be like? Gary Thorne joins the show. Oh,
he likes us all too.
I mean, he maybe a little less after you didn't read your article.
He emailed me the article.
I think he likes Nick. He likes me. I think he just thinks you're annoying, Michael.
I mean, he just definitely doesn't think that. Maybe he thinks you're annoying, though.
Do I talk enough in that class? No.
No, you don't really talk much at all, honestly. I'm really surprised. You don't talk much in class in general. So let's talk about baseball again. Yeah, I'm really surprised that Ryan just never speaks in class. Dude,
so how can you think I'm annoying if I don't speak?
I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing. A little bit. So let's do a little bit of a recap of today's game. A little bit of a recap between the Astros and the Dodgers because what the heck? The Astros and the White Sox because it kicked off the American League Divisional Series, and it was quite handedly a dominating win for the Astros. The Astros won it 6-1. They got some big offense from Yordan Alvarez, who was arguably the best bat in that lineup. Michael Brantley with 2 really big hits. Alex Bregman had a really big hit. And Lance McCullers was absolutely dominant through 6 2/3. On the other side, the other Lance Land gave up 5 runs over 3 2/3, and not what they needed. The White Sox really wanted to win this game 1, especially on the road. It would have been a huge win for them. Unfortunately, they didn't, so their hopes of winning the series obviously goes down drastically after you lose the first game. It's not over till it's over, but now they have to win 3 out of 4, and that is not going to be easy to do. So Nick, give us a little bit of a recap what you saw today. Obviously, it was today. We haven't had tons of time to to take a look at highlights and stuff, especially considering that the game only ended 2 hours ago. But still, at face value, what did you see in this game, and really what was positives and negatives?
Yeah, this game kind of went how I expected it. I mean, to me, Houston probably has the second best lineup in this entire playoff, so it did not shock me to see them putting up runs right away. It does hurt, really does hurt the White Sox, especially in this game one. If they could have had Rodon pitching, I think the outcome changes a lot. No shade to Lance Lynn, but he does have like a 12 ERA against the Astros, so that's not somewhere you want to start for your game one starter. But yeah, on the other side, I mean, the White Sox offense was just limited. Lance McCullers pitched a great game like he has all year. He's been probably the most underrated pitcher. I feel like no one's talked about him. He's going to finish like top 3 or 4 in like AL ERA, which is astounding. Imagine this team at Verlander. Oh my goodness. But yeah, or Jordan, like Michael said, Jordan Alvarez was most of Houston's offense today with that huge 2-run home run, and then Michael Brantley contributed with 2 hits and an RBI. Altuve was running on the bases like Speedy Gonzalez out there. It was incredible. And yeah, this series, I expect this to be kind of a quick series. Like I said in the postseason show, I don't see the White Sox as series postseason contenders, and I just really see Houston steamrolling the White Sox.
Nick,
yeah, I can go again.
Yeah, sorry. I think I'm having a stroke for some reason. Ryan?
No, Michael. I hope you're not having a stroke.
Sure.
Yeah, I like making fun of you for an hour every week. But looking at this, for this game, Lance Lynn, the only place where he's really struggled this year has been at Minute Maid Park. He's really struggled there for some reason. I don't get it. Like, if you look at his 2 stat lines from the past 2 times, with the last 2 times he's pitched there, really similar. 5 runs, 6 runs.
It's like Cole at Fenway. Sorry.
Exactly. He's really struggled there. And I think that's the huge reason why they lost, is that they went with a guy who struggles there, and it hurt him. It really did. I don't know why they really started Lance Lynn game 1. He's really struggled in the second half, like you said, Nick, and his struggles at Minute Maid Park, I think I would have saved him for game 2. If at all costs, if Rodon was fully healthy and ready to go, I would have saved him for game 3 because of how he's performed there. It hasn't been good. So that's what I saw. Jordan Alvarez, one of the best DHs in the game, makes his impact with a homer. They were able to put up runs. Jake Myers, a rookie, driving in a run or 2. He's done a great job really filling in for Springer this year. So this offense for the Astros, like you said, Nick, is, in my opinion as well, the second best lineup in this entire postseason. And it's going to continue to wreak havoc on this team. With how the pitching looked and the dead offense from the White Sox, it wouldn't shock me if they got swept.
Randy Arozarena just stole home.
Yeah, I saw that.
Straight steal of home.
Absolutely brilliant.
Hold on. I need to get footage of this. Give me a second while I pull up my MLB TV. Wow. What? Dude, hold on. So obviously we are a large
Carabas tweeted, gotta be kidding me.
we have this is a large production. Let's see what oh my god.
Also, while you're doing that, I gotta highlight Lance McCullers. He has really stepped up this year, and he has proven to be one of the top pitchers in the
legit
league.
straight up stole home.
All right, I need to see that.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see.
So yeah, shout out to Lance McCullers.
Here we're not going to have audio. We don't want to have copyright issues.
Hey, can you flip it so I can see it? Thanks.
Oh my gosh. It's not letting me rotate. Come on, let's go. Rotate.
What's wrong with your phone?
In the meantime,
There we go.
Okay, while you're figuring that out, I'm still, because you guys didn't listen to me.
Please don't copyright
yes.
me. Promise, I'm not doing anything wrong. Just showing. There's Randy at third. Here we can do our own little commentary here.
I'm
We
good.
could use our play-by-play skills and just do that. So they're showing Randy.
Rosarina with a large leadoff third.
Yes.
I don't even know.
Okay, well this is the next. It's got to be the next pitch. I think who's this pitcher? Oh, this is
Josh Taylor's pitching.
Yeah. It literally just said Blake Taylor.
Sorry, Ryan. I do not have you. I have you I have my computer muted, so I can't hear you if you talk. So make sure you wave if
That's
you
why
want
you
to
guys were
talk.
listening to me a minute ago.
Oh, look, Colin McHugh's coming into the game. Here. So we've got a Rosarena at third. Oh, he was deaking it. He was feeling it already. Oh my gosh, why is it? It's so far behind. It's so annoying. I'm sorry, everybody. We don't mean to be wasting
Okay,
time.
while you're looking for that, I'm going to tell
It's
you about
just
how
my
Lance
thing
McCullers
really put me
proved to
very
be
far
one of the
behind.
best pitchers in the AL.
Yeah, hold on. What? I didn't hear a word you just said.
You know what? While you're figuring that out, Lance McCullers has proven to be one of the best pitchers in the American League this year. He has carried that rotation, and it is incredible to see what he's done. He is a formidable one piece, and it is truly when Garrett Cole left in the injuries, Justin Verlander, he needed to step up, and he has, and he's proven that he is one of the top pitchers that the American League has to offer.
Yes,
What?
completely agree.
Here we go. This has to be the pitch. Has to. Just has to be.
You said that 3 times now.
Oh my god.
You just straight stole home. Oh my gosh. Dude, you legit just straight up stole home.
All right, who's better, Willie Mays or October Rosarena?
Over a Rosarena.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Dude, he's literally new Mr. October. Look at this. Look at him. Just straight up. Dude, what a legend. There is absolutely. I need to hear Joe Davis's call of this.
This is really thrilling radio right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I don't really care. Dude, dude, how many steals of home have we had in the postseason? Like ever. There's been very, very few straight steals of home. It doesn't happen in general, but for him to just straight up, oh my gosh, he is literally the real Mr. October. Oh my goodness. He's
Well, ladies and gentlemen, October Randy is back. So everyone run for the hills if you're a Red Sox fan.
October Randy.
Honestly, if I'm a Red Sox fan, I'm just happy that they beat the Yankees in the wild card.
Facts. Dude, that's such a fact. So now that we've gotten our recaps out of the way, we can now do. We can do predictions of the divisional series of the games, of the series that we didn't know the actual teams for, because we now have Dodgers, Giants, and we have Rays, Red Sox. I think it's safe to say that we all agree that the Rays are going to win the Red Sox series. But how many games do we think it's going to be in? And well, we already kind of talked about who we think are going to be big players. So how many games do we think in any little brief analysis? Nick, you could start us off.
I know I said a lot like on the postseason prediction show that it would be like Rays in 5, but I would seriously not be surprised if we saw Rays in 3. My real prediction would probably be Rays in 4. I think Chicago gets 1 in Chicago, but yeah, outside of that, I see the Rays taking care of this series with ease.
I just got beautiful.
Rays Red Sox, not Rays White Sox.
Hold on. I did not hear a word you just said because I got beautiful insight from good old Jared Carver, who said that Javier Baez was the last person to steal home in the postseason. So that was a long time ago. That was probably
2015?
No, it wasn't 2015. It was 2016 or 17. But still, that it just doesn't happen. So Ryan, back to you with your talk of the series.
4 games for the Rays. They're going to take it. They're going to become the first team in history to probably start 3 rookies in the first 3 games of a playoff series. You got McClanahan, Baz, then who's the last one? Why is my brain just frozen right now?
Feyereisen.
There it is. So what they're able to do with, especially after losing one of the best trios from last year of Glasnow,
Morton.
Snell, and Morton. Thank you, Nick. My brain shut off once again. What their ability to still be this dominant on the mound without those 3 it's honestly incredible. And their offense, we know, has been much improved from last year, and that they can put up runs. Can their pitching hold? And if they can continue to play like this, we might have a very intriguing series that's even more intriguing of a rematch of last year between the Astros and the Rays. So I'm going to take the Rays in 4 here just because their ability to do it all now, especially with an improved offense. So give me the Rays in 4.
So it was, sorry, just following up on the stats, I got confirmation. It was 2016 NLCS Game 1 that Javier Baez stole. That was the last time we had a straight steal home. It has been 5 years. And Randy Rosarena, absolute stud. Thank you, Jared Carr, our new official running the bases statistician. He is a walking encyclopedia. He probably didn't even look that up. I think he knew it off the top of his head. He literally knows everything off the top of his head. He's out of his mind. We're going to have him on the show one time, and we're going to test his baseball knowledge. I'm sure he would be thrilled to do that. But that'll be coming up in the future. So I like both of you guys said, and I agree. Rays are going to take this series. I'm going to give them in 4, like Ryan said, just because I think the Red Sox managed to win one of them against the rookie starters. I wouldn't be shocked if they managed to take 2, but I think once you throw McClanahan back out there in Game 5, the Rays take it home if they even get that far. So I just think that this series is heavily leaning to the Rays' way. I think it would have been closer if it was the Yankees, honestly, because I just think that with their pitching staff would have been a little bit tighter. But I mean, to me, this is just, it's not a mismatch, but it's definitely not a fair matchup for this series. But that's what happens sometimes in the postseason when you have the number 1 team in the league taking on the wild card team. It happens sometimes, and that's what's happening this year. But the series everyone's talking about, the series that is making history, where the first time these two teams have met in the postseason in their entire franchise history, not including the one time where the Giants met when they were the New York Bridegrooms, where they met the Dodgers in 18-something. That doesn't count because it wasn't the Giants and the Dodgers. But it is the first time that the Giants and Dodgers are meeting in franchise history in the postseason. It is going to be an absolutely special series. The first time in postseason history where two teams, it is the most combined wins in a series in the history of the game. It's going to be absolutely special. I can't wait for Ryan. What is your preview for what is going to be a spectacular series?
This is history in the making. And I said it last week or Monday, where I said this could be one of the best postseasons ever because you had such a historic rivalry, one of the greatest in sports, if not the greatest, in a wild card game. Then 2 of the hottest teams face off in another wild card game. And then history in the making with the Dodgers and the Giants facing off and locking horns in the NLDS. And then you have potentially a rematch of last year's World Series and potentially a rematch of the Cheaters versus the Dodgers. There is so many potential layouts and outcomes that could make this one of the best postseasons ever. I'm going to take the Dodgers in 5. I think this team's bullpen proved last night that they're one of the best in the game and that they can shut down any lineup. And then their offense does it all. Whether it's like a guy like Chris Taylor, A.J. Pollock, to Bellinger, Seager, Turner, the other Turner. It's amazing what this lineup can do. They're just loaded at every single asset of the game. They've got the lineup. They've got the starting pitching. They got the relief pitching. Give me them in 5.
Sorry, I'm sure you probably saw too, Nick, so you probably would mention it. The steal of home from Randy Rosarena made it the first time in, let me make sure I have it right, the first time in postseason history where a player hit a home run and stole home in the same game. So Randy Rosarena is literally still making history in his second postseason. This man is incredible. I'm wearing my Randy Rosarena shirt tomorrow at the gym. I do not care. It's just, he's incredible. I love him so much. Nick, what's your take on this great series that's about to come?
Yeah. Like Ryan said, it's history in the making. You know, these are two teams that started literally in New York and have now found themselves in California and are ready to battle it out. It's funny that Vince Scully grew up a Giants fan and is the most legendary commentator the Dodgers will ever have. So it'll be interesting to see who he's rooting for. But in terms of the game itself, it's going to be a great one. The Giants are definitely going to win some games that people don't think they will just because that's what they've done all year and that's what they did to win the division. So therefore, I have to give them some respect. I do still think the Dodgers are winning this series. They're, to me, the better team. They have better lineup, rotation, and bullpen, like we've been saying all show long. But since they're the Giants, they will win 2 games in this series. I truly believe that. So I do take Dodgers in 5. But it'll be a heck of a series from start to finish. And game 1's tomorrow. It's unfortunate that the ASU football games at like the same time, but whatever game you're watching, you're in for a treat, especially if you're watching that Dodgers Giants game, because there's a whole lot of history on the line, a whole lot of rivalry. It's just gonna be intense from start to finish. I'm just really excited.
Dude, I haven't been able to go to a single ASU game yet because I've been busy every single night, and I work tomorrow anyway, so I can't. But like, at the rate we're going, because I'm not going to miss a playoff game for it. I'm probably not going to even get to go to one this year, just because I got so unlucky for the first month of games because I had something going on that night every single week.
It's okay. I won't be
yes.
making the ASU game either. I got work.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's rough. We've got to all go together one time, hopefully.
Yeah, 100%.
The one chance you have is November 6th against USC.
That's their last chance, or is that the last chance after the postseason?
No, that's just the last chance that we'll probably all be able to go together.
Oh, okay. Well, it's after the
That's
postseason.
probably the last game. That's probably the last game I'm going to be going to as a fan because I'll probably be covering every other game.
Well, we'll have to do
You're
it.
a stud.
Yes.
Journalism, baby.
Journalism, where you're no longer allowed to be fans of games.
That's so facts.
We're literally getting to that point in our lives where we're no longer. Oh, we have to end our show. So let me just say, the guys that were supposed to be here last week didn't ever show up after us, like at all, and they're not here now either. So
You know what? I'm just going to say it this way. Here's how I'm going to cap off the show. Brewers beat the Braves.
But yeah, I'm going with the Dodgers. I'm going with the Dodgers in 5. The Dodgers are a bit of a better team, and like I said, there are only 3 outcomes in this entire series. Dodgers sweep it in 3, Giants in 5, Dodgers in 5. There's nothing else that can happen. I promise you that. It is going to be a special series. It's going to be one heck of a way to really kick off the postseason because the divisional series, they're just a little bit of a taste of what's to come in the next 2. So that'll do it for us this week. We will be back next week because we're back from spring break. So, Ryan, you'll be back home
Fall
next week.
break.
Ryan, you'll be back home next week, right?
Fall break.
Yes.
Yes. I should be back in studio bearing any setbacks of my bodily harm.
Wonderful. Your stomach is literally seppuku you in the last 2
right now I've
Wow,
been
what a
designated from
word.
IR. We're in the middle of that 21-day period of where I can be activated from it to the active roster. So hopefully I get activated in time.
Yeah, we'll activate you whenever you're ready.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's all.
Love to hear
We're
it.
gonna have our group wiffle game and watch a baseball game together at some point too. That'll be a lot of fun. I would love to stream that wiffle game, but we probably shouldn't because we just need to be able to have fun. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate y'all as we do every single week. Enjoy postseason baseball. We will see you